In this video, I break down how LinkedIn got me over 90,000 in bursaries, scholarships, and consistent recruiter outreach and career opportunities. No viral posts, no massive following, just showing up, strategy, and following through with intention. But to continue, I'm going to need to sit down for this one. I'm going to share the exact steps I took in receiving all my grants and scholarships, from the Pan-African grant from Smart Contract Research Forum to the South African Netherlands Cybersecurity School, where I actually received a bursary worth 55,000 Rand, to the PyBit scholarship from Mason Group, where I received a 10,000 Rand scholarship. And these are all things I found on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn following has been growing gradually, but it's never been about followers. It's always just been about showing up. So, for example, I'll tell you exactly where I started. As a beginner, it's important to focus on what your profile looks like. Okay, so from ideation to completion, this is what I would do if I were to start my LinkedIn profile from scratch. Okay, so just to quickly summarize, as I've told you, LinkedIn changed my life because I have so many wins from it, from the Pan-African grant to Cyber Girls Fellowship and the Cybersecurity School of South Africa and Netherlands, right? So with each of them, I had to interact with LinkedIn. With the Cybersecurity School, I basically posted my live interview on LinkedIn, and that's how I was selected. And from there on, I interviewed to be a part of the accelerator program, to which I got a bursary from the Cybersecurity Institute. I then also got a grant from Smart Contract Research Forum, and I also got to work with them and work on their various projects, on their teams. And with Cybersafe's Cyber Girls Fellowship, I got quite a few scholarships to do cybersecurity certifications from Microsoft Azure and cloud-related cybersecurity certifications and platforms, right? So these are just a few wins that I got just from participating on LinkedIn and being present and showcasing my work. Now, when it comes to standing out as a cybersecurity professional, there are basically 1 billion users on LinkedIn. Only 1% create content, and decision makers are always watching, right? So you should care as a cybersecurity professional, because it's not about who you know, but who knows you. And your LinkedIn is basically your live CV, portfolio, and pitch. Okay. So how to optimize your LinkedIn as a cyber professional? So first of all, I would use this setup by Jakarta Robertson, right? And he talks about how you should find your target ID, So this would mean your account needs to be based on two things: your interests and your market demand, right? So what are you interested in? What do you want to use your platform for? And then you need to optimize your profile. That means, your headline, the image you're using, right? And then you follow the GAP framework: growth, authority, and personal. And lastly, what, why, and how, right? What am I talking about? Why should the reader care, and how can the reader take action? Now, this is how to optimize your LinkedIn as a cybersecurity professional. I'm interested in people like Kezia, who is basically using her words to help brands just communicate much better, and Dakota Robertson, who has a company that does ghostwriting. So these are people that know how to communicate well. And then cybersecurity professionals I really enjoy is Confidence Stavely, who is the founder of Cyber Safe Foundation, as well as many other companies, AI, Cyber Magazine, Merkel Fans, that sort of thing. And then Dave Johnson, he has really great cybersecurity content whereby there's actually live work that you can follow through, as well as he's quite active on LinkedIn and YouTube, and Adora as well is quite active on X and LinkedIn. These are some of my peers. Elizabeth also has a YouTube channel. She talks about cybersecurity. This is their headlines, right? They're very clear what they do, what skills they have, what awards they've won. If you look at Sia also has a YouTube channel. He is very clear that he's a cybersecurity specialist. He's a thought leader and a DevSecOps engineer who is also interested in AI security. Dave Johnson is pretty clear, cybersecurity engineer at Amazon and creator of CyberWorks. And he's also a believer. He has a YouTube channel where he talks about the godly engineer. So these are, it's pretty clear what these three people do from their headline. Your headline is something that people are going to see when you make comments. It's sort of like your billboard. So you need to be very clear about who you are, what you do. Don't say you're aspiring. Say exactly what you're working towards. You are a cybersecurity analyst, right? These are just more examples of headlines. Very clear. Faith says, I'm a cybersecurity assurance specialist, information security analyst, cybersecurity accessibility advocate, right? If you are a big creator like Confidence, you can, tell us that you're a multi-award winning leader, you're a speaker, and Confidence is pretty clear. She is on a mission to simplify cybersecurity and raise 250 million high agency humans who take ownership. And this is very clear in her content and in her mission and companies, right? Whether it's teaching girls API security, getting certifications, getting deals, such as working with Try Hack Me and things like that, and giving back to creating those high agency individuals. It's very, very clear. Victoria as well is very clear, right, as to what she's interested in. Cybersecurity, AI security research. And you can also find her work in the AI cyber magazine called Pandora's Box, which is really interesting, where you can just dive deep into different articles, frameworks, cybersecurity frameworks, right? And then you get Odenika. I really like his work because he's so clear and he's so consistent in the way that he posts on LinkedIn. And this is the about section. He's very clear in his about section as to who he is, what he does, and his areas of expertise. So if you have an about section on LinkedIn, you want it to be very detailed and you want it to also align with your headline. Moving on, you also see with Joanne. Joanne is also really great. She posts often on Instagram and LinkedIn as well, and she's very clear and speaks to who she says she is, right? Whether it comes to strategy, especially cybersecurity awareness training. She also is an entrepreneur who has her own game, cybersecurity games. So it's pretty interesting how diverse people are when it comes to their role in cybersecurity, right? And then you get Abigail. Abigail is also pretty clear. Her about section is very clear. It's easy to read. She's an application security engineer, what she specializes in, and what she helps organizations do. And it also aligns with her headline, right? Kachipa as well, it's very clear. She's a cloud security analyst at so-and-so company, and where she graduated, what she does, what she specializes in, right? So for me, if you look at my profile, it's important that you have the section, actually, your skills, projects, and recommendations, just to show that you've worked with real people, right? So the people you've worked with can write recommendations, whether it was a school project, whether you were a manager, and also being clear about the projects you've done and you've worked on. This is the featured section. So here you would Where have you been featured, interviews, projects, websites, the things you've done, you want to add it here. And then my 4 growth tips would be, according to the framework by Dakota, is find your interest and demand, right? Post about the problems you enjoy solving, that others need solved. Use the gap framework, create content that builds growth, trending cybersecurity, commentary, events, authority, code, snippets, challenges, results, personal. Your journey believes how you started. People follow people they like, trust, and remember. And then apply the what, why, how formula. What's the post about? Why does it matter? And how can cybersecurity professionals in your niche apply it? Post the process, right? What about what you're learning, even if it's mid learning, right? Show your progress. It doesn't have to be polished. Okay. Your LinkedIn checklist, right? Is your profile optimized? Are you making at least one post per week? There was a point I was making posts every day, and we did a little bingo in one of my communities, the Essential Hub, and I won. Thank you. So there are perks to actually posting every day as well. I've also had a lot of people at actual live events come up to me saying, "Hey, I enjoyed this post by you," or "I always see you on LinkedIn. I like your edits on LinkedIn." So even if people aren't liking or commenting on your posts, they might actually let you know in real life. So you actually never know who's watching, because impressions are sometimes higher than the actual likes or interactions. Share your cybersecurity journey even on the rough days. Collaborate when possible. Your voice matters. Your growth is the content, right? So your cybersecurity journey is already valuable. You don't have to be a senior to start posting. You don't need to arrive to be visible. You just need to start sharing what you do know. You're not just building projects, you're building your future, right? And my challenge for you is that for the next 30 days, the last 30 days of this year, to grow your network and build your tech brand. Not even this year, actually, because you can use this every or any month, right? You can constantly be doing a challenge for yourself where whenever you're ready, you can do it, right? Whether it's at the end of the year, beginning of the year, it's evergreen, really. I hope you enjoyed that. Interact with people, follow people, max out your connections. You'll never know how much of a blessing LinkedIn is until you actually show up on the platform. Some people say they don't need to be there, none of their opportunities have come there, but you will never know until you try, right? Because people will name your name in rooms because you're using your name and you're articulating your value, and people can trust you, right? People want to put people's names forward that they can trust. So if you were to ever lose your job or anything, or look for opportunities, if you've been showing up on LinkedIn consistently, it's very easy for someone to recommend you. So I hope you enjoyed that, and let me know which other topic you'd like me to break down. But yeah, I'm really passionate about LinkedIn. I really enjoy it. In just the last month, I've gotten 1,000 extra followers just by being consistent. So all the best. Tag me, follow me on LinkedIn, and let's grow together. As I always say, it is the platform where you get to articulate your value.